Courtney, and I'm going to be teaching you how to play a saxophone today, how to get started. So first you're going to get your neck strap out of your case. Your saxophone should come with a neck strap. Mine is not the one that came with the instrument, but this one's really good. You should probably consider getting one with a bar like this if you want to play your saxophone for a while, because it helps with neck pain. So you're going to get your strap on, and you're going to take out your mouthpiece and your neck first. So this is the mouthpiece. This is the neck. Okay, it has a cork on the end where you would take your cork grease and you would take a little bit. If it's like this, you would just put some on your finger and then rub it on the cork. But some of them come in like chapstick tubes, so you just put a little bit on there and it helps the mouthpiece slide on easier. So you're going to shimmy sham it on. You're going to make sure that you're holding down this octave register key so that it doesn't open while you're shimmying, because this key is very fragile, so you want to make sure that you are clamping down on it and keeping it from moving. You're going to line it up. There we go. Mouthpiece is on the neck. Then you're going to take your saxophone out of the case. Now you are not going to pick it up by the bell, and you are not going to pick it up by the top of the instrument. You're going to go towards the middle. So I'm just grabbing it. It's on my bed, but I'm holding it from the middle of the horn, not from the bell, not from the top. You can take this cap out. That is to help the top keep its shape. Because the brass, it's not the hardest metal in the world. It'll bend if you pick it up like that. You're going to go ahead and attach it to your neck strap so that you don't drop it. You're going to take your neck, you're going to put it in here, and real quick, if you look at the bottom of the neck on the inside, there's like a little arrow. You're going to line it up with this octave key piece right here. That's going to go under the register loop key mechanism, and you're going to line it up with the little arrow, and you're going to twist the screw. Some people like it a little bit to the left, but it's just whatever is comfortable. And then you're going to take a reed. If it's brand new, you're probably going to want to soak it in some water a little bit, but mine's not brand new, so it just takes a second to get it moist. But yeah, you're going to stick it in your mouth, and then you're going to grab your ligature, which is this thing. This is what mine looks like. They come in different designs, like this one, for example, but when you're putting it on, you always want to make sure that the screw is pointing towards your right hand side. And mine, the screw's on the top of the mouthpiece, but it is on my right hand side. For this one, the screw would be on the bottom of the mouthpiece, like towards me, but it's still on the right side, so never on the left. If it's on the left, then yours is upside down and it won't create the best noise. Anyway, you're going to take your reed and you're going to slide it underneath the ligature from the bottom, and you're going to line it up with the top of the mouthpiece. Now, you don't want it can go slightly below the tip of the mouthpiece, but you never want it to go above the mouthpiece. It should just be like the teeniest little hair line of a gap between like the tip of the mouthpiece and then the tip of the reed. So now your fingers are going to go on these pearls. I'm going to stand up. You've got one pearl that is going to be between your first two fingers. That is an alternate key. You don't really have to worry about that. And then, so pointer, middle, ring, and then your pinky goes on the top of this little spatula mechanism right here. And then on your other hand, you've got handy little pearls showing you where to put your fingers, and then your pinky goes on another spatula key. So, what you want to do is adjust your neck strap so that when you're not holding your instrument, the saxophone is right at your mouth. So you shouldn't have to like bend down at your instrument. Your instrument should come to you, not you coming to the instrument. And then as you start to form an embouchure, you want to think about sucking on a straw, like a big old smoothie straw, how your lips kind of go together and like are centered and forward. You're going to want to think like that. So you put your teeth on the top of the mouthpiece, and then you're going to imagine you're sucking on a straw. So teeth, and then you're going to bring the corners of your mouth in and forward. And then your bottom lip is going to be between your bottom teeth and the reed. But just imagine like you're putting on chapstick. Like, yeah, it should just like cover your bottom teeth a little bit. And then you're going to make a noise. But you're going to articulate the noise by starting with your tongue on the reed. So you're going to say your embouchure. You're going to put the tip of the tongue on the tip of the reed. And then you're going to think of the word to or do. Yeah, so the sound starts with your tongue on the reed, and then you take your tongue off the reed and blow through the horn. Awesome, right? Okay. Now, some issues that you might run into could be playing the low notes. It usually takes more air and volume to play the lower notes, especially at first. So, like on a beginner horn, you might have a leak, or just low notes are just pretty hard. So just be mindful that it's something that you can work on. And then, man, leaks in these instruments are pretty common. When I say leak, that's like an air leak. So if these pads don't cover up completely, air will leak out and it'll make an unpleasant noise. Or if this key is not aligned, then it'll make your whole horn, like any note you play, sound weird. Squeaks can also come from your embouchure, or how much or how little mouthpiece is actually in your mouth. So it's just something to kind of play around with, and to experiment with. Pretty cool though. So we've got palm keys over here. They're called that because you use the inner part of your hand for those notes. And we have some over here on the lower side. Pretty cool, pretty cool. And now we're going to take apart the instrument. So, and specifically we're going to swab it, because swabbing it's pretty important. You're going to go ahead and take off your mouthpiece and neck. I'm going to get my swab. These swabs they are supposed to be silk. This is silk. It's so that the inside of your instrument doesn't scratch. And you're supposed to swab these because after you play them, you put the weight in the top, by the way. After you play your instrument, you're going to get some moisture, and it can be bad for the horn. So you're supposed to clean it like every time you use it. Give it a swab. And it goes through the top, like so. You're going to tip it over, pull it through the bell. You can do it a couple times to make sure. And you're going to set the instrument back down. Well, good luck on your saxophone journey.